We should do Watch This Jerks.
Yes, we should, because there's a lot of stuff. We all watched a lot of stuff, it looks like. I watched a documentary on, I don't even remember what it was. I think it was HBO Max, called The Automat.
Okay.
Optimus Prime, he's my favorite.
Is this
No,
about
it's
automats?
It's about the restaurant, The Automat.
Okay.
The Horn and Hard Art restaurants. Are you familiar with those? Shipwreck, I'm sure is.
I'm familiar because it's similar to my last job's product.
Yes, that's why I said I'm sure Shipwreck is familiar with. Did you know that Horn and Hard Art was once the most popular restaurant in the United States of America?
No.
Yeah, it had.
Did you, Cheapy?
I never even heard of it. I still don't know the name. Horn and what?
Horn and Hard Art. It was
Hard Art.
Yes, it was a restaurant chain only in Manhattan and Philadelphia. And
that's where the people are.
And at its peak, it served, I think it was 800,000 people a day. It's a lot of people.
Oh, I just remembered this. This reminded me in a roundabout way that a CAG did say hello to me out in Palm Springs. Identified me and said hello to me.
At the drag show, probably, right?
At the drag show. No.
Hey, look, it's Shipwreck filming a drag show.
At the Air Museum. It was nice. He had his kid with him.
Oh, wow.
So.
Oh, nice. Too bad you didn't have your kids with you, because then they would think you're hot shit. But Mrs. Shipwreck thought you were hot shit.
Yeah,
She
of
was
course.
like, damn.
Yeah.
I'm going to sleep with a celebrity tonight.
My man.
Right.
Right. Yeah,
anyway, it was a cute documentary. It's worth your time. You learn a little bit about history, not just food history, but New York history. Mel Brooks is in it. He has a big part. He helped make the documentary because he is a big fan of the Automat back in its day. I actually went to the Automat before it shut down in 1990. I have very vague memories of being in the last one before it shut down. So it was interesting. That's all. If you don't know what an Automat is, I guess I should say that it was a restaurant, but there was no servers. You just walked in with nickels, and you put nickels in the like the wall by a window, and you open the window and you take out the food you want. That's what it was.
Delicious.
So,
What else?
So,
However many courses you want there. I mean,
oh my
you
God.
put nickels in until you get enough courses.
well, Mel Brooks used to say he used to go in with a quarter and get a 5-course meal.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
You're just as funny as Mel Brooks, Ship. Congratulations.
I did it.
But he's like 90, so.
Right.
He's like, he's not that funny.
I'll get funnier with age then.
We can only hope.
I watched some movies.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you watch?
I watched a movie that I think Cheapy should watch if he hasn't watched it already. Triangle of Sadness.
I haven't
This is a movie
watched
that was up for the
Best Picture.
Best Picture, the Academy Award for Best Picture. I don't know how. Like, I watched this movie, and it's a strange movie. It is in the vein of The Menu, in that it is like a critical film about classes in the upper class. Takes place on the majority of the movie takes place on a luxury yacht that Woody Harrelson is the captain of.
I've never even heard of this.
You should watch it, Cheapy. It's bizarre.
What's
it's a
it
comedy.
on? Don't say Paramount Plus.
Oh,
Don't say
Triangle
Peacock.
of Sadness. Hulu.
I know
believe.
it's on something. Yeah,
I have
I believe
Hulu.
it's on Hulu. So check it out.
Darkness in the
Don't
chat
watch-
said that this stream looks like a triangle of sadness because we're in boxes in a triangle. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I understood.
He's funny.
Don't watch any trailers for this, Cheapy. Just go in without trailers.
Okay.
And stick with it. It hits some stuff that's like, this, you kind of see like this coming, like as far as plot points go, but I think you're going to enjoy it.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
You may have to
Maybe
remind
watch
me
it
again
too.
tomorrow.
I had it spoiled for me, so I don't know if I need to see it.
It was a
Yeah.
square. It was a square.
It was a square
And it was
sadness
happy.
the whole
He
time.
was very happy.
There was a happy.
Okay,
story.
cool. I'll check that out. Let's not talk anymore about that. Let's. What else we got here?
I watched Morbius. It was on the plane right out. It was Morbin time.
Nice.
Yes.
Did you know that he was bullied as a kid? But there was only one person that was his friend. But you'll never guess what happens between his childhood friend and him. They become enemies.
Does he eat him?
No.
They're not that kind of vampire.
Oh.
Well, they kind of are.
Energy vampires?
Oh, yeah, they both have the same disease, it turns out.
Oh.
Do they?
Yeah, I think so. Don't they both have the same disease or a similar disease or
maybe similar? It's vague.
I know.
The whole thing is vague.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the worst superhero movies I've ever seen.
Look, if you want to cure your disease, you just got to stand in the bat tube and you'll be fine. Just stand in a tube of bats. Everything will be fine.
The terrible part about this is Jared Leto is perfectly cast.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could not cast a better Morbius.
Mm-hmm.
There is no business to have a Morbius origin film. There's just none. It's like the entire thing is how did this guy become a vampire?
You just want to see him do cool shit as a vampire, probably.
You know, it's funny. I'll get to it because I played the Midnight Suns DLC of Morbius a couple of days ago when it came out, or was it yesterday? Whatever it was. And they run through his origin in like a sentence.
You understand?
Spider-Man says Venom's like, what happened to this guy? And Spider-Man's like, oh yeah, he was in a failed experiment.
Now he's a vampire.
Now he's a living vampire. That's it. That's done. That's it. Done. We got it. It's all out of the way.
Right.
Yeah.
You're saying his origin story is not like Interview with a Vampire. It's not like this big, like long tragic tale.
Not really. Nope. And then there's, I don't know. It gets by. It like tries to play it similar to Venom, which Morbius kind of is similar to Venom. Is like this is an anti-hero type, right? But at the same time, it's just like I don't know. I don't really care about this plot at all. Like I want to see Morbius in other things. I'm fine with that. He needs to be like a secondary character, not here's our Morbius movie.
Mm-hmm. It's got to be like Spider-Man's like, we got a problem in the sewers. I need to go to my vampire expert to find out what's going on. And then you cut to, and it's him, and he's talking to Dr. Michael Morbius, who's like, yeah, I know all about these sewer vampires. They're a nasty lot. And then that's
Morbius's plot point in that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That is totally what he's there for.
Nice. Mm-hmm. What else?
The other thing I watched on the plane was the Pez Outlaw. This is a documentary. Are you familiar with this documentary?
It's on Netflix.
Is it about Pez?
It is. It's about Pez. It's about a dude that got really rich by going over to Europe and buying all the Pez there, directly from the Pez factories, because Pez US was controlling what could come into the country, and so the Europeans didn't like that fact because they would design all these Pez that then the US
Pez dispensers or Pez
dispensers. No, dispensers. That then the US, like they couldn't bring them to the US market because the US Pez company was like, nope, we control everything that comes here. So this guy went over there and just like got in with all of, like, the documentary presents itself that like it's not for sure, but it's pretty sure that he got in with all of like the guys who were running all the factories over there and just like was paying them
out the back door just to get the shit out the back door.
Correct. Yeah, like to he was paying them cash like under the table.
Yeah, that's how you do
to
it.
Like just load up duffel bags. And so like for like a decade there, like this guy was making like millions.
How was he selling them?
He was selling them at like Pez conventions.
What was special about them other than that they were European? Was there like
there were designs
a different Mickey Mouse, or was it?
There were designs that weren't over here, right? They were just random designs that collectors wanted. So they wanted them over here. So then like how badly does someone need an Asterix and Obelix Pez dispenser? Pretty badly, I guess.
I guess so.
But so like it's crazy. Like, but then this guy like. And I'm going to spoil the Pez Outlaw because you guys aren't going to watch it. But
well, it's called the Pez Outlaw, so I have a feeling things go sideways.
Things go sideways because he gets too confident, basically. Like eventually, like the U.S. president like gets around to like shutting him down by like saying like, "Hey, we know there's contacts inside the the European factories and everything. So like they put up cameras everywhere and everything. So he started getting turned around. So his big idea was to start advertising that he had all these, like with his name and everything. And then the next step was he designed his like own like color variations of existing Pez, had them made at the European Pez factories, like paid like millions of dollars to have these made and then imported. Like this was his attempt at like going legit, but he was just stealing.
He
the
didn't
Pez
consult with a
designs.
lawyer, I feel.
No. So the way that, but Pez didn't want to like sue him because they're like, I don't know, they just didn't want to go that route for whatever reason. So what they did was they let him buy all these things and bring them over here and try to sell them. And then they made the same exact ones and imported them into the US. So they made his entire stock worthless and like bankrupted this guy without having to do anything other
They
than
figured
like,
that was a lot cheaper than the
Right,
legal
so
action.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
smart.
It was
Yeah.
smart. Stay out of the courts faster too, probably.
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's cool.
that was the Pez Outlaw. It was an interesting documentary.
Neat.
Hmm.
What do we got?
Have you ever been to the Pez factory, Cheapy? It's not far from here.
Nah, I'm good.
I'm just saying. No, to scoff at me.
I mean, what do they got? What am I going
Oh.
to see? They're making.
Oh, the Pez factory. Oh.
I mean, I'm not really interested in Pez or factories.
It's a museum. It's a museum and factory.
Oh, where is
If
it?
you're ever driving to Boston, it's
Oh.
like it's on the way.
I'm never going to do that
Okay. well,
unless my car breaks down in front of it. Then I might go
Um,
inside for help,
Oh,
but probably not.
I mean,
I'd
I
probably
was
just-
there. Gosh, how long ago? I think Sabrina was maybe in 4th grade. So
Time to
like-
go back.
5 years ago, more. Yeah. When
What
the
are we
kids were
watching?
Small, we went. It was fun. I started watching Mandalorian. On episode 3 of 4 because I know the new one came out today, but we're doing this show.
We watched the first two.
Okay. It's pretty good. It's still Mandalorian.
It's like just watching 30 minutes of video game cutscenes, basically. It's like
Kinda.
it's like just
I'm not saying you're wrong.
you know exactly like what's going to happen at any given moment, and it looks good. You're always like, oh, like looks shiny and good and expensive and produced well, but and you don't have to like. It's a good couch potato show. You don't have to think at all. It's a nice break from these documentaries and other depressing things.
Mm-hmm.
It's just cutscenes, Star Wars
I like it.
cutscenes. I watched the documentary about. It's called Predator, but it's not. It's about It's about this guy who ran the Japanese boy band industry.
Oh,
And he was like
That's less fun.
he was a sexual predator to underage
that kind of
boys.
predator.
Yeah, underage boy
not
predator.
yeah. Okay.
But it's really not available in this country. I had to find like some bootleg stream that they posted on.
You went out of your way to.
So
watch
you
this.
went out of your way. Did you have to
Mrs.
like
Cheapy.
Google search?
Oh, okay.
Mrs. Cheapy told me about it. It was she read about it in the newspaper. It was a BBC documentary, so it's only available in the UK. But Resetera had a link to a place where you could just watch the stream, and I put it on the TV with AirPlay. Anyway, yeah, this guy basically just ran a J-pop talent agency, and he had like all the boys sleeping in his apartment, and he would
Jape them.
Yeah, pretty much. But the interesting thing is a lot of the victims don't really see themselves as victims. They feel like, and even today would like give that up to become J-pop stars. Like they looked at it. I mean, some of them looked at themselves as victims, but some of them looked at themselves as like, I really love that guy, and he, helped me, and all he had to do was touch me in my weird place. I don't know. It's pretty disturbing.
Is that what you say to your wife? Touch me in my weird place.
No, I've never said that. I don't. That would be weird.